When a foreign leader comes to Britain, they are our guest, honoured, protected, indulged. But they're not our master. The limits of their power are drawn by our Constitution, by Parliament and by the Crown. Yet watching Donald Trump's second state visit, one might be forgiven for wondering who was dictating to whom. Trump openly claimed he'd asked that London's mayor, Sadiq Khan, be barred from the state banquet at Windsor Castle. He called Khan among the worst mayors in the world and a disaster. In truth, Khan had not sought an invitation and was never on the guest list. The banquets are curated by Buckingham Palace in consultation with the government, yet by asserting that he could exclude a British politician, Trump projected the image of power over our domestic life, a claim that itself matters politically whether or not it was true. And this raises the wider question, how far can a visiting head of state dictate terms in Britain? The blunt answer is very little. They cannot order our military, rewrite our laws, or veto our political appointments. Trump may say Starmer should deploy troops against migrants, but that is rhetoric, not instruction. The Minister of Defence quickly confirmed that our armed forces are for national defence, not for immigration enforcement. Similarly, Trump may oppose UK recognition of Palestinian statehood, but the decision rests with the government, not the White House. Yet there's a subtler form of dictation, the power of theatre and perception, and when the King, the Prime Minister and the entire apparatus of state roll out the red carpet, they elevate the guest's status. They flatter his ego, they allow him to bask in the glow of royal palaces, red arrows fly past and extravagant banquets. Trump interprets this as validation, even as deference. In his eyes he can demand and Britain will comply, but what does Britain gain? Here lies the calculation. State visits are not for vanity alone. They are instruments of diplomacy. In exchange for pomp, Britain secures leverage, trade concessions, tariff reductions, security guarantees. Keir Starmer's government plainly judged that flattering Trump was worth the embarrassment. If it meant progress on Ukraine and British industries, this is not new. Margaret Thatcher endured Ronald Reagan's excesses for the sake of Anglo-American strength. Harold Macmillan entertained John F. Kennedy despite Kennedy's interventions in European affairs. Diplomacy is often about swallowing pride. Still, there is a moral price. When we indulge a leader who cages migrants or undermines allies, we risk appearing complicit. Protesters in Parliament Square waving placards against Trump's politics understood this. They saw not just theatre but humiliation. They saw Britain offering legitimacy to a man whose values cut against our own traditions of liberty. The truth, then, is double-edged. A visiting head of state cannot command Britain, but they can shape the atmosphere of our politics. They can sow division, as Trump has done in his long-running feud with Sadiq Khan. They can export their rhetoric, as when Trump urged military force on the Channel, and they can shift perceptions abroad of Britain as a nation too eager to flatter, too quick to bow. The balance is delicate. Diplomacy demands pragmatism, yet politics demands dignity. Starmer's task was to hold firm on substance, Ukraine, tariffs, recognition of Palestine, while conceding on the superficial. It may have worked, but it leaves a sour aftertaste. Britain didn't cede sovereignty to Trump, but it ceded the stage. So how much can a visiting head of state dictate to the UK? In law, almost nothing. In spectacle, rather a lot. And in perception, sometimes too much for comfort.